Hello everyone. For this video, I am going to demonstrate to you how you're going to create the structural system for your project. Alright, so Revit provides a tool which allows various settings to be copied from one project to another. This is what we call as the transfer project standards. We are going to integrate the structural system into our architectural plans. And to do this one, there must be two Revit project files to be open. One that is a source of the structural system, and the other one is your file for your project. Alright, so go ahead and launch your Revit, whatever that version could be. Again, there's nothing open. I want you to directly open first your Revit 2018, 19, or 20. Alright, so once you launch it, I want you to go ahead and click New. Make sure that you are going to select Structural. So in this case, we are going to select the structural system. So New Project. Then I want you to go to Structural Template. So I want you to go ahead and find. Now, if you can't see it there, you can also find here in this browser here you have the structural template. Rather than clicking the browse, you can just click that downward arrow, and I want you to select the structural template. Alright, so once you have that, I want you to go ahead and just select project and then click OK. Alright, so once you have opened this, and it should be your project one, I want you to pay attention with that one, because whatever the functionality that we have in this particular project here, we are going to transfer that into our architecture. Alright, so once you have created a structural template, I want you to go ahead now and open. Remember that for us to be able to transfer the standard, we need to have two open Revit file. So I want you to go ahead and open your projects that we have. Okay. And I want you to go ahead and find that into your flash drive to wherever you save your office building. Alright, so I'm going to my folder. I'm going to my file canvas, and I have here my office building. And I'm going to open that. Alright. Alright, and I want you to go to your level 1 floor plans. Alright, so once you have opened your project, I want you to go ahead and click on the Manage tab. So we have here the Manage tab here. I want you to click that. From the Manage tab, you have here the option that says Settings. Okay, so I want you to go into Transfer Project Standard. So these are your settings here. So we have here the Transfer Project Standard. So I want you to click that one, and here make sure that copy from we have here project 1. Now if you have several other open file, make sure that you select the right project. That's the project that we created to where we selected the structural template. So make sure that you selected that. Alright, so this is very important here now. So I want you to go and click the check none, okay, because we are going to select particular items only. So make sure that you have to look at that handout that is on Canvas. Alright, so it says here that we need to only check the boxes for the items listed on that packet that we have. The first one is the analytical link type, so I want you to check that. The next will be the annotation family label types, annotation family level types, fabric. So I want you to scroll down a little bit to your F fabric. Okay, so we have here select all three. So we have here fabric area, this one, and that one. So you have those three fabric, and then we have to go with the foundation slab type. So scroll down a little bit, foundation slab type. So we have your halftone underlay. So we have here halftone underlay settings, okay, line patterns. So I want you to go with that line patterns, line style, and we have the load type. Then of course the materials and multi rebar, annotation type, and then the pad type, rebar cover setting. It's fine, rebar cover setting, and then rebar type, and then we have reinforcement setting, and then we have here slab edge setting, letter S, slab edge settings, structural setting, the SST, and then view template. Alright, so once we have selected those, what to do now is click OK. So again, make sure that you have here project 1, and then we have here the check all. And then we have here now your click OK. Alright, so I want you to click OK on that. It may pop up some duplication here that may be available on your architecture and into your structural. So I want you to just go ahead and click the override. Alright, so once it pop up this dialog box here at the bottom, it's just a warning. So what I want you to do is just exit out or close it. Alright, there you go. And then the next thing that we're going to create now is the structural plan. Okay, so we already transferred some of those functionality for structural. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create the structural plans. Alright, so that it will distinguish that from our other plans here that we have. Alright, so to create that, I want you to go to view. So again, the next thing that we're going to do now, once we transfer them, we are going to create the alright, so to continue with the structural system, we are now we're ready to create the structural plan views. Alright, so to do that, I want you to go into the view tab. So this one here. So I want you to go into the view tab, and we have here on the ribbons, on the group create, we are going to create a plan views. So I want you to go and select plan views here. So we have that one, and I want you to select the structural plan. Alright, so once this it pop up, I want you to select level 1. So I want you to go ahead and select level 1, and then I want you to click before that, make sure that uncheck this one here. I want to emphasize that I want you to uncheck do not duplicate existing views. Alright, once you uncheck that, I want you to go ahead and click OK. So again, I selected structural plan, level 1, uncheck, and then click OK. Alright, so we already created one of the structural plans here. If you go and look at on the properties project browser, you already have here added structural plans. So when you expand that, you already have the level 1 now. Alright, so go ahead, and I want you to rename that one now, level 1. I want you to right click it, and I want you to click rename, and I want you to add here level 1 is structural slab and foundation plan. Alright, so I name here structure slab, and foundation plan. All right, so I want you to go ahead and click OK, and if it pop up this, I want you to select that says no. Again, I selecting no. All right, so you have there now your level 1 structural. All right, so with nothing selected, I want you to go and find or to clear everything. So make sure that nothing is selected. So I want you to go that says discipline. If you could find, see here, discipline here. Alright, I want you to go into that discipline. I want you to select architectural. Okay, and that's the first thing that I changed, discipline. And then I want you to go and change this to a scale of a quarter. So take note, I changed that to a quarter. All right, so that's a thing that you are going to change. The other thing is that I just want to walk you through, just in case you won't be able to see all the items that we have adding into it. I want you to go into the view range. That's a depth to which you will be looking at those elements into the building. So here I have here 2, 1, -4, -6. So just in case, this should be the numbers that we have on level 1. Okay, and I want you to just click OK. All right, so that's the thing that we are going to do now. All right, so the other thing, I want you to go back and right click this one here, right click, and I want you to select the says here apply template properties. Okay, I want you to click that. All right, so on the left here on this dialog box, make sure that you select the structural foundation plan. So I want you to find the say structural foundation plan, this one here. All right, so make sure that you have that one there. And then the other thing, you may need to uncheck this one here because we set a quarter of an inch to 1 foot scale. So I want you to just go ahead and uncheck that so that it won't conflict with the one that we set. So again, I selected the structural foundation plan, uncheck the view scale. All right, and then I want you to just click OK. There you go. So all right, so you will notice that we have all those doors here. To get rid of those, what I want you to do is just go to your view tab, and I want you to go to your visibility graphics, and I want you to just turn off your doors, this one here, turn off that one. So I turn off your doors here and I apply, and then I want you to click OK. All right, so you'll be able to get rid of that one. So what I want you to do is to do the same process in creating the other plan. Okay, so we're going to add another plan view. Okay, so to create that, the same step again. So you have to go to your view tab, and I want you to have here plan views. Again, still part of the structural plan, and then we're now going to create level 2. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and click that. So make sure again that you are going to uncheck do not duplicate, and then I want you to click OK. So you will see now that you have here your level 2. As you have on your handout, you need to rename that. Okay, I am renaming it. See here, rename this to level 2. Okay, structural, erase this one here, level 2 structural framing plan. All right, so I want you to click OK, and again make sure that select the new no option here. So click no. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do is to apply the template, but before you do that, the next thing that we're going to do is a discipline. Okay, I want you to find that says discipline again on our choice here on the properties palette. Make sure that you're going to select architectural. All right, And the other thing is your scale. That's not in there. This one here is you change that to again, change that to a quarter. There you go. And then the last thing that we're going to do now is to apply the template. So right click again, apply template properties. And what we did is the structural framing. The first one that we did is the foundation. But this time, because we're doing framing, so we're going to select the structural framing option here. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do now is the next one is the roof. All right, so I want you to uncheck. So I selected the structural framing, uncheck this one here, and then click OK. All right, so again, you have those doors. The next thing you have to do is to turn them off. So I want you to go to your view, visibility graphics, and I want you to uncheck your doors. Apply, click OK. All right, so you have that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is create another plan view. So click this one here, structural plan. So this time it is the roof. All right, so I want you to uncheck and then click OK. All right, so that is our roof. And again, pretty much the same step. We are going to right click this one here and we're going to rename that as roof. Okay, is structural framing plan. All right, so once you click OK, again click no for this option. There you go. Then the next thing, we're going to change the scale to a quarter, and then the discipline, I want you to find the discipline and change that to structural architectural. Okay, apply. And then the next thing we're going to do now is to apply template. Okay, so apply template properties, still on the structural framing, click that, uncheck this one here, and then click OK. All right, so you're ready to create now your framing. All right, so before we move on to adding all those items, we may need to load some of those structural families. So I want you to go into Insert tab. We're just going to load. Anyway, you have this tab that you have on your handout. So I want you to go Insert, and I have here Load, and I want you to go again. I am at the US Imperial. Okay, and then I want you to go and select Structural on the choices here. So we have here all the structural here, but we're going to begin with the structural. This is the folder for structural. We're going to begin with the columns. Okay, so I want you to go and click on the columns, and you will notice that we have several other options here. Again, on your packet, we'll be using steel, so I want you to double click the steel. All right, and the column that we are going to use is a hollow structural steel. Okay, this one here is a hollow structural section. This one here, so I want you to go select that. This is how it looks like, and I want you to go ahead and open that. And it will pop up an additional dialog box here. We will be needing specifically the size that is 6 by 6 by 3/8. So I want you to go find 6 by 6 HSS 6. Go. There you go. 6 by 6 by 3/8. All right, 6 by 8 by 3/8. So this one here, it is a square. All right, 6 by 6 by 3/8, and I want you to just click OK. All right, so the next thing that we're going to load now is the joist. So I want you to go ahead and load that and find structural. Okay, this time we are going to find probably on the framing. I want you to check the framing here. So we are going to go with steel, and then I want you to find K-series bar joist. So we have here K-series bar joist, and we are going to use the rod. All right. There you go. So K-series bar joist rod web. All right. So I want you to select that K-series bar joist rod, and I want you to click open, and we are going to select whatever is being specified on your step. We will be needing 16K5, this one here. All right, I want you to click that, and we have, let me see if we could do it at one time, 26K9. K9, this one here. You may probably click control so that you will be able to select both that one and that. All right, and I want you to click okay now. All right, so we have those two loaded into our drawing, and then I want you to go ahead and load again another family, and this time we will be using the beam. So go all the way to the structural, and we'll see on the framing steel, and then let's see if we have wide flange W. All right, so wide flange here. Okay, I want you to again, I selected the wide flange, and then click open. All right, so we're going to select whatever it is being asked us to use. So we have 24 by 55. All right, this one, and then the other one is 30 by 90. So I want you to find 30 by 90. Let's see, 30 by 90. So I use the control button to select them both at the same time. So we have here 30 by 90. Okay, we have two here, but you can just use one of those. Okay, so click control button, and I want you to click OK. Alright, so it says here another dialog box. Just click the override existing version. Okay, if there is an existing version, so we have loaded into the architectural one. And there you go. All right, so before you move forward, I want you to go ahead and save voice your work. In my case, I'm going to save it as a different file. Okay, office building structural. All right, so that is how you are going to set up. And before you can begin with the structural framing. All right, guys. Next, I'm going to discuss how you're going to add those beams and joists.